So, storage and shelf life of casting resins. That's the topic of today's quick tips video. So stay tuned and we'll dive in. Alright guys, so storage and shelf life of your casting resins. I get questions about this all the time, and I thought I'd just kind of go through and cover, there's not a lot to it, but I thought I'd cover the important things. So for storage, the main thing that you're really looking at is usually temperatures. You want to store it in some place that's at or near room temperature. So 70 to 72 degrees is room temperature about. And you don't really want to stray too far from that, up or down. Give or take 10 to 20 degrees up or down from there, and you should be all right. I think the bigger problem is if you leave it in a place that the temperature fluctuates pretty widely, constantly. You don't want to leave it in the garage where, it may drop into the 30s overnight, and then you maybe heat it up to the 70s, during the day, or sunlight, heats it up. You don't want it constantly changing. That is going to be more harmful than just leaving it in something that's slightly lower than room temperature. So, like I said, you don't want to go too far from that 70. If your options are only leaving it in the shop where it could freeze, or maybe in the summer it gets really hot, like 100 degrees, I would recommend storing it inside and then just bring it out when you need to use it. Then bring it back into that temperature that remains pretty constant. Now, the other thing that has just kind of recently come to my attention with storage is UV rays. In my shop, I don't have any windows, so sunlight is never hitting anything in here. So if you're storing your resin in a place where sunlight can hit it, you want to cover it up. Put it down in a cupboard or something like that, because the UV rays can degrade it or can yellow it and just have an effect on it. You don't want it exposed to sunlight. So that's the other kind of big thing that like I said, just recently found out about, because it's just never been a problem for me. Now, when it comes to shelf life, each formulation of resin potentially could have a different shelf life. So you need to make sure that you're reading the instructions or contact the manufacturer to find out what the shelf life is for the specific formulation or specific resin that you're using. Most of the resins I find typically fall within a 4 to 6 month range. Some of them extend a little bit further, and there may be some that even have a shorter shelf life than that. But in general, 4 to 6 months is a good rule of thumb. Now, again, contact the manufacturer, read the instructions for the specific resin that you buy to make sure. But where this is important is obviously, you need to be able to use it within the time period, that shelf life, before it goes bad. So this can impact how much resin you buy at a time. You may find that you can't actually get through it all, within the 4 to 6 months, or you're not going to use it all up. So it may be a good idea to buy less at a time in certain cases, or just prepare to, make sure that you're using it all up. Now, the other issue with shelf life is where you buy your resin from, because if you buy it from a vendor who doesn't sell a lot of resin, that product may have sat on their shelf or in a warehouse for 4 to 6 months already. By the time you get it, it's pretty much already out of shelf life or bad. So you want to make sure that you're buying resin from vendors who sell fresh resin, who turn over stock regularly. And that way you know that when you get it, you'll have the full 4 to 6 months, or whatever it is for your resin, to work with it. Now, I have links to where I get my resins. I use Alumilite resins and liquid diamonds. And so Turntex.com and Turner's Warehouse, those are where I get my resins. They both turn over stock frequently, guaranteed to get fresh resin from them. Outside of those two brands, you'll have to find people that use it regularly and have a good source. Just kind of maybe do a little bit of research before you buy. Find, the vendors that everybody's using. That way you're kind of guaranteed to get a fresher product. Now, if you want to jump into resin casting and aren't really sure where to begin, check out my new ebook, The Beginner's Guide to Resin Casting. It should answer all those beginner questions. How does it all work? What types of resins are there? What do I need to get started? Those types of things. And there's even a step-by-step project that you can follow to get your first casting done. So go check that out. It's on my website. Again, there'll be a link on the screen here to that. So if you're new to the channel, we're all about exploring the world of resin casting and helping you get started around here. So if you're interested in that, definitely hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified when new videos get posted. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.